Welcome back. You're watching Politically Correct with me, Maya Hayakawa. Today we've been discussing transgenderism and I've spent the last 30 minutes here with Letoya Johnstone just shedding some light on the issues. A lot of things that I've learned from the session that I've had with you. One thing that I've learned is that I must say that I am guilty of having some stereotypes. Yes, I am. And the stereotype that I had was that if you're transgender, then you would want to go all the way. You'd want to get all your surgeries done and all of that to transgender into the into a different body. But then, what are some of those misconceptions and the myths that we have on transgenderism that you want to clear up right now?
Okay, cool stuff. The only thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to talk about the things that I know very well, that I understand, but although there are so many of them to an extent that some have not encountered, because some are happening in Africa while others are happening in Europe. Do you understand? So I left Europe when I was like around 7 years old, so I can't really remember a lot of things that are happening here. So the misconceptions that are really happening is that being transgender does not mean that you need to be like changing everything about you, like going all the way, like, you know, creating like your hair and also making sure that as in you do not have beards or making sure that that you really need to like rub it on other people's eyes. Do you understand? As transgenders, we need to let people see without trying, because immediately you start trying, you turn out to being fake. Do you understand? And then other misconceptions are that, as in, the men always feel that we are important, like mute. You understand? That as in, we are important to an extent that we cannot generate sperms. Another thing is that so many people tend to think that we have like two sexual organs. You understand? Whereby like one is up and the other one is down. So these are like some of the misconceptions.
It's not necessarily, because
it
those
is
that
not
have that
necessarily
are intersex, but not
exactly.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things that people tend to think. They confuse these things. Some of them also tend to think that we are gays, of which we are not.
Could you please explain this? Because I think a lot of people find this really confusing, sexual orientation versus the sex change.
Exactly.
And so if you as Letoya right now, are you attracted to males or females?
Truth be told, I would really tell you that I am attracted to men.
So does that make you, you're attracted to men?
Yes.
So does that make you gay?
Okay. You know, as in, you can say that it makes me get attracted, as in it can make me gay, but it is not gay because the gay people, with them, they are men, they are attracted to men, but they don't want to, like, be seen like they are kind of like, let me say, masculine or let's say girlish kind of, but not all the way. With me, it's different in the fact that I am a woman. And so you understand? You understand?
Yeah.
I am like a woman and I feel like an heterosexual, whereby a woman needs to sleep with a man. But to some other people, it comes along in a situation whereby they are a transgender to an extent that they were born male, but they changed everything, including their sex. And then after changing their sex, then they get attracted to women. To an extent, some people will be just like, why should you then like change your everything and then you go and get attracted to female? Why can't you just leave them and then become that? Do you understand? So these are some of the things that are really happening to other people. So you just need to know it is actually an inner feeling as compared to somebody who just wants to live like Baba James or like a man, you know, but the only thing is just that their sexual orientation is what differs.
Is there hope for transgenders in Kenya?
That's really a good question. Am I really like in a position to answer that? I would really say I can't really talk about that because even when Barack Obama came to Kenya and then tried to talk about LGBT and things like that, the president of Kenya said that that one is not in our, is not...
It's a non-issue, is what
It's
he
a
said.
non-issue,
Yeah.
you understand? So I think we really have a long way to go, but the only thing you need to know is hold on there and make sure that you do you. You are going to find the people that hate you. You are going to find the people that love you. You are going to find people that are understanding you, people who do not, people who are trying, people who are confused in between. But at the end of it all, it is all about you. It is like having independence. So many people will die and the fight will be really so long, but at the end of it all, you will get it. I just don't know when it will ever happen, maybe when I'm dead, or when maybe like 50 years to come or 100 years to come, but I'm really hopeful that one day, one time, there will be aha moment for the transgenders. Yes.
What transgenders do you look up to? Because we're seeing more and more, especially in the international media, a lot of these transgenders are coming out. We have Orange is the New Black. We have Lavrine Cox, who acts as a transgendered female on the show. We have Caitlyn Jenner, who just recently came out. Who do you really look up to as a public transgender individual, and why?
Yeah, that one is really a good question. The only thing that I'm really saying is that I think I don't look up to anyone. I appreciate them. I look up to me, because my journey is my journey, and I don't want to live in somebody's umbrella. I want to be me. I want to be celebrated for who I am. But the only thing that I think is happening is that I share so much with them, to the fact that some of them lived up to around 60 years old for them to transition, you understand? Meaning transition of some people takes longer than others, while some takes shorter. So it all depends on where you are coming from. So I look up to me, and it is only me, myself, and all the things that I'm going through.
This is the question that a lot of people ask all the time. They say, if you really do feel that you were really born like that, then why wait, you know, like Caitlyn Jenner did, until your 60s or 70s, that you chose to be a different gender? What do you have to say to that? How would you answer that?
Yeah, that is really a good question, but my answer to that is that don't ask questions that you know very well that even you won't understand. First of all, don't ever look down upon a gay person or a transgender person and start quoting words in the Bible and things like that when you do not know how your dad is. Maybe your dad was really a woman, but it's because you never had like a bet with your dad, or like gotten through a lot of things were hidden from you. So you might end up like hating people, quoting people names and doing things like that, and then you end up like one day ending up with Kris Jenner as your grandmother, as Kris Jenner as your father. Do you understand? I don't know if you can try to fix that. So the best thing that you need to do is that it is a journey. And a journey is not, it is a lifelong journey whereby you need to check on this. A lot of things are happening. Like, for example, for Kris Jenner, you know, she won Olympic, as an Olympic gold medal. She wanted maybe like this to be seen and whatever. She is the only person who can really like tell her story and say the main reason why it took her long like that. Do you understand? Some people do not have other things to lose. So whether they come out as female and whatever, nobody even cares. It will be just like that. Do you understand? There is somebody who's just like doing everything as a female, and they're transitioning so well, and people are just like, that one is mad or whatever. As in, people are now used to, but nobody can bring them on TV to talk about it because we don't know them.
Okay, so you are in the fashion industry.
Yes.
Do you feel accepted in the industry being transgender? And how open is the industry to that?
Truth be told, first of all, I would really love to admit that you have no option being in the fashion industry, because we dominate like crazy. From the person who's going to do your makeup, to the person who's directing the photo shoot, to the person who's making your clothes, so you better deal with it. As in, you don't have any options. So the only thing that is really happening is the question directed to me in Kenyan fashion industry. If it is in Kenyan fashion industry, I'm going through a lot. Like, I'm not going to mention names, but I'm working with a paper whereby I cannot be featured in that paper whatsoever because of who I am. Like, I was told, like, the boss is a staunch Christian, and for that reason, like, it's not like healthy for her, or she won't find it in her heart like to do something like that. So my boss told me. So with me, I'm always like behind. Apart from that, again, I've been taken to one of the leading TV stations, and then I was to go there as to be interviewed, you know, about the show. I mean, in the show. But when things really turned out, it's just like from how they had me speaking, how my hands were going, they were just like, we are really sorry, we can't have you on it because of time. We are only going to have so and so. So why do you do this when all these things you've been communicating with me for all this while? And I even asked, am I going to be interviewed or not? And then I was told, you are going to be interviewed. So why is the change of plans when I reach there? So there is a lot of discrimination and bad blood and how people look at you and things like that, to an extent that I remember writing to the lady on Twitter, telling her, you really need to check on your attitude. I didn't literally mean attitude, but what I meant was just that your attitude towards me because of who I am and how you treat us. And she apologized, which I really appreciate so much. And at the end of it all, did it solve the situation? Hell no.
Are you accepted by your family? What's your relationship like with your family right now?
That's a question, because it's really mixed. I am really not accepted. I'm partially accepted with in my family, because I think I felt so much because they left me like in the hands of nowhere. Like nowadays, the relationship is starting to create to an extent that I'm trying to come in and let them know that, hey guys, you know what, this is it. But on the other side, it's really a lot, because I don't know if it is because I'm adopted or if it is because of who I am, but mostly it is because of who I am. Because I had the story that when I came to Nairobi for my college, and I was kicked out like a dog. So from the house, and when we went back home, then I had the story now from my family, immediate family member, who told me that you went to your sister's house, and then she said that she could not like have you because of you being a woman. She didn't want to relate with you. So imagine I had to drop out of the college. So I don't think if they love me. The only thing they know, they are trying to care about. No, they do not.
Who accepts you?
The only person who accepts me is like my sister, like in the house where I am adopted, and my mother, in the person, the one who adopted me. But I think it is what contributed to her even being kicked out to an extent that she never got married. Like, you know, like traditionally you need to take cows, so the cows were never taken. We were kicked out to an extent that even right now we are living in the worst part of the slum there, and I come from like a prominent family, so they don't even care. So the only thing that they do, there's some people who jumps in and there's some who don't. Like,
are you happy with yourself right now?
I am happy because I came out, but on the other side there are a lot of things that are still inside of me to an extent that, imagine, because of me, my mother outside there is not getting her rights as a woman. Like, she is being judged because of me.
Do you have children?
I do not have children. Okay. I'm 23 years
old. Would you like to have children in the future?
I would love to adopt children. Who doesn't want like a baby crying on their couch?
And when you adopt your child, when you have children, raising them, how would you raise them? How would you explain to them who you are?
The only thing that is really happening is that having children and then raising them is like taking them through school. class 1, class 2, so they need to know what they need to get and things like that. And whenever they are growing with you, you need to check on which age that they need to understand that I am like this and this is what happened, so that they don't hear from people and then people start insulting them with, and then it breaks them, and then they're like, you know what, you adopted me and I don't want to be in this family anymore. But at the end of the day, people choose. When they become adults and they don't want to be in the family, it is something that is so hard for you to deal with, but you explain to them, and then you see, God has a reason for each and everything.
All right. And what's your last message to the transgender community or to the people that are watching this right now? What would you like them to know?
I would really love them to know that we are going through tough times and we are going through a lot. Many of us have committed suicide, and most of us have actually done horrible things because of what is really happening. But what you are doing to us, before you do this, always sit down and and come to a realization that you are doing this to a human being. It's like you are mistreating somebody who is living with HIV, and you don't know, because as time goes by, you never know where your child may end up in, or the kind of relationship or family, or who your child is going to get married to. So just treat us like human beings, but if you hate us, it's also still okay. We will also try to understand. I think the transgender people and all the LGBTI people really need to understand that we cannot convince everybody, because everybody was raised in different ways, and self-acceptance is the only way to glory. Others are obstacles, because even if you are straight or heterosexual, you are still going to get other people who hate you and other people who loves you. So to me, the opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference. In this world, we really need to know that we are all living in this world with something called polarity. And for that reason, you need to know that the hate and the love is what brings beauty. And the beauty is only beautiful when it is debatable. So you need to move a bit on the love side, but keep your fire, because that is the true definition of a true star.
Thank you so much. A true star indeed you are, Letoya. I've had such a lovely hour with you.
Thank you
for sharing your story and for shedding some light. Hopefully, you know, transgenders who are watching this right now, who were looking to commit suicide or are going through very tough times, have found some inspiration looking at you. Thank you so much for coming.
Your sister is with you, and I'm really looking forward to even like continuing the discussion on the politically correct on Facebook, and even if it's there on Twitter, so that we can go through this and wherever. I encourage everything from the Bible quotes, from the insults, because if they don't insult us, then we will not put everything. But I urge people not to insult them back. Let them make them understand.
Transgenderism, a phenomenon that is not easily understood or accepted by society. The transgender community faces a lot of discrimination and rejection, as well as stigmatization from society. Despite this fact, a lot of advocates and also NGOs and people like Letoya Johnstone who share their stories in hopes of creating awareness on the challenges faced by transgendered communities. What are your thoughts on today's show? Make sure that you do comment on our Facebook page. You can find us at Politically Correct Kenya on Facebook, and we are also on Twitter at PCorrectKE is where you can find us. That's it for today from me. My name is Maya Hayakawa, and see you guys next time here on Politically Correct.